Are you putting off making beats because you don't know where to start? You've been saying you're gonna make beats for like 3 to 4 months or something like that, but every time you sit down to make some beats, you don't do it because literally you just don't know how to. That's why I'm making this video right here. A lot of YouTube videos assume that a lot of beginners aren't watching their videos or that they're not catering to beginners. I'm gonna do the opposite of that, and I'm gonna show you why you're a lot closer than the people that you idolize than you might think. All right, let's get into the setup. You don't need what you think you need. I'm gonna put up a couple pictures of what I used to think I needed for my setup. I had some stuff. Also, 3 years ago, I probably wasted at least the first 6 months making beats, doing all the wrong stuff, watching the wrong tutorials, buying and downloading kits I didn't need, kits that were bad sound quality, trash drums, and I just didn't understand the stuff that I was downloading, what I was buying, and what context you were supposed to use, like things that you were using them in. It wasn't because I wasn't serious, it's just that I didn't know what mattered for me as a producer. But I will say, like, on the bare minimum side, the only thing you need is a computer with 16 gigabytes of RAM and at least 500 gigabytes on the storage side. 2, on the bare minimum list, you're gonna need good headphones. I'm gonna leave a link in the description to a PDF by SonarWorks. They do a lot of work when it comes to sound, frequency. They're just experts on that shit. And they have a list of the best, like, top 30 headphones from cheapest to the most expensive one. I'm gonna show you the headphones I use. So these are called the Sony MDR 7506. The reason I got these is because I did a lot of researching the reviews, and they have a pretty flat frequency response. And basically, a flat frequency response is they translate pretty well mixing your songs because they don't distort any of the frequencies on the EQ range. Like, you don't want to make a beat and be boosting the 808s and then you get in your car and you fucking blow your speakers out because the headphones you were using didn't translate right to. But yeah, essentially that's what you need right there. And I wish I would have known that when I started, because I used to make beats on monitors or studio speakers, and I used to live in an apartment and I could never use them to their full capability because they were just too fucking loud. And I live with a lot of older people, and I didn't even want to even try to get a noise complaint. A lot of my time I spent as a beginner making beats, quality was ass because I was using speakers just because, like, a status thing for me. But I could have just using headphones and you know, just been making shit good to begin with. When you're like ready to level up, I think you should get an SSD card, not an SD card. Get an SSD card. And then I would get a MIDI keyboard right here. Now, most people are like, I don't know how to play the keys. Exactly, nigga. Learn how to do that shit. But I would just get a MIDI keyboard just because sometimes when you're clicking in melodies or not, it just sounds robotic. When if you know how to play it in, you get a more human feel. It just sounds like better music. It doesn't sound like you programmed some shit. A quick tip when it comes to buying, I bought the one I just showed you off of Facebook Marketplace. I didn't feel like I had one that I bought brand new and it broke on me. So I was like, man, I'm finna buy me a used one, because if I break this bitch, at least I didn't spend $200 on it. I spent $25 on that. The pros that come with buying used, obviously you get it cheaper because people just want to get rid of their stuff. But the negatives that come with that is you don't get the software that comes with buying a brand new MIDI keyboard. A lot of companies, they give you software for when you buy a keyboard off their site. Like, sometimes it comes with a VST, and then obviously you need beat making software, you need a DAW. So the next section, more specifically, reducing workflow friction. Workflow basically means the order of steps you follow to turn an idea into a finished song. What I'm trying to say is you gotta make your DAW as frictionless as possible. You really don't want to be doing any pointless tinkering around. obviously, because you are a beginner and you already have this anxiety about like not knowing what to do. So why not every time you do something cool, or you like a certain setting that you made, or you watch a YouTube video and you can do something a YouTuber did, why not just save that in the DAW, save that somewhere specifically, and it becomes a tool that you can pull out every time you make a beat. That's what reducing workflow friction means to me. It's definitely an ongoing process. Reducing your workflow friction comes bit by bit the more you learn. How you start definitely isn't going to look like, you know, how you continue to progress. So like reducing your own workflow can feel like a cheat code, and it is. I think that's why I might have skipped over when I first started. I thought like maybe everybody who was good at music did everything from scratch, I guess. Basically, every time you have an opportunity to save a snare, save a preset, save a certain EQ shaping that you like, do it. The challenge is what happens after the beat, not what you're doing while you're making the beat. This part. Now moving on to how to learn. Tom Cruise. All these thousands of pretty YouTube thumbnails and all of these crazy graphics that come attached to these drum kits and these sound kits and all of these courses on the internet suggest that you need all of them, but you don't. It's better to choose one or two videos on the internet and study them until you don't need to study them anymore. It's better to have a few solid premium drum kits, sound kits, than it is to waste your time looking for free ones. Be quiet, bro. Be quiet. It is good practice, though, to immerse yourself in the modern language and sound of music production. At the end of the day, options don't make you better. Options make you more confused. If you keep looking for more options, what you're doing is avoiding the actual work. This is what you should do. Find a few YouTube channels with some good content that resonate with how you want to grow. Treat those YouTube channels like they're your own personal mentors. A lot of YouTube producers actually have paid communities that'll help you grow a lot faster, that'll help you with some form of direction as far as if you want to be like if you want to try your hand at being an industry producer, they'll help you with that direction with their experience and whatnot. And if you just want to get better at beats, a lot of it's kind of mandatory to have a beat review every now and then, and you know, feedback is what you probably need the most right now. I feel like most importantly is one thing that helped me a lot. For the most part, I've learned how the arrangement of like my favorite songs go. I have to learn where to drop the beat, where to like do like mini pauses. You can do this by going on genius.com and playing your favorite song while you read the lyrics. Genius notates where the verses, the hooks, the pre-choruses, where those start and where those end. So go through those like, and pause the song at where those end up at, and like just start internalizing the arrangements. That'll help you a lot as well as watching YouTube tutorials, because you learn it straight from the source. You learn it from the actual music you like, and not just some YouTuber telling you what the best VST is that you can't even fucking afford at this point. But look, the internet and YouTube is full of a lot of noise, but you just gotta use your discernment and pay attention. You need to assess yourself more than anything. You need to know yourself more than you know like these YouTube videos. You need to assess yourself and only learn from people from whose process you would like to emulate. In the description of this video, despite what I just said, I feel like these are some of the most comprehensive YouTube videos that you can get started on to get you going in the right direction, give you some framework on, you know, like to feel less lost, because that's why you wanted to watch this video in the first place. Last thing I want to talk about, and it is idols and the pedestal. But Kendrick Lamar is one of the greatest rappers ever. And for a long time, I feel like I projected myself onto his music. And like, I feel like I did that so much to the point that when he dropped Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers, I was almost like let down by how vulnerable in some of the stories he had told. The crazy part is that you heard Damn and you heard what he was talking about on there, but he did a pretty good job at setting up the narrative with Blood. And it felt like these weren't exactly real stories, like he was exaggerating. So Mr. Morale, when he was like actually confirming like, nah, that was like the real me. It felt like a letdown. I made a different image of Kendrick in my head, and I put him on a pedestal of being this one type of person, when the whole time he was always showing who he was, if you really paid attention. I feel like, yeah, that's like the problem with putting people on a pedestal. It feels like admiration, but you're really just operating on willful ignorance. And it keeps you aware of what you're giving away. And what you give away is the ability to stand eye level with anybody in this world. The distance between you and whoever you idolize, it feels like respect, but it's actually going to be one of the reasons you never really become the person that you want to be. The reason why I feel like this relates to being a music producer is because your beats are going to respond to how you see yourself. So like, if you make beats and you never think that you can reach the level of like Cardo or Take Heed, then you're going to prove yourself right. It's going to be a self-fulfilling prophecy because you already decided it. If this gave you clarity, the best thing you can do is look at the resources I gave you. Start taking action on where you wanna go with music. I hope you have fun. I hope you make some good friends through making music. Don't be a loner. But yeah, just check the description for everything that I mentioned, and some extra stuff in there too. And yeah, thanks for watching.